Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie back at you with another beer review. And today I am looking at Rockdale Classic. Now, Rockdale Classic was introduced in 2017. It is 5% alcohol. And let's see, it says see best if used by date on bottom of the can. And the best by date is February 6, 2019. So I've got a nice fresh date with this as well. I have had this beer before. I've only had it once though, and I'm having a hard time remembering exactly what I thought about it. So it's kind of like drinking it for the first time here. It is brewed in La Crosse, Wisconsin by City Brewing, primarily for Walmart stores, if not exclusively. I have been told, I have not seen any information to support this, but I have been told, William Kepley and I have talked about this, and apparently there's nothing that says that this particular brand, the Rockdale line of beers, is produced exclusively for Walmart. So I guess they could sell it at other places, but I have only seen it at Walmart stores. So that's the main place you're going to find this beer. Now they make 3 beers. They make the Rockdale Light. That one came out first, and then this one here, the Rockdale Classic, was the second beer that they released in the Rockdale line. And then most recently, they released the Rockdale Ice, which I posted a review of that earlier. So anyway, gave this a pour. It looks pretty nice, a nice golden appearance, not really too much head, but I poured it in a tulip style glass. A lot of times you don't get a super thick head on these type of glasses. I mean, it definitely looks good. I'm not seeing any fine particulate matter or anything like that. It looks super filtered and, like a traditional AAL. Looks really good. Really refreshing. Some nice streaming bubbles going up the glass as well. All right, it smells pretty good. I'm getting a little bit of barley malt. There is a little bit of fruitiness with this one as well. I mentioned with the Rockdale Ice, you get that fruitiness to it in the aroma. This one you get as well, although it is a little bit more subdued than the Rockdale Ice. It smells pretty good. I mean, there's really nothing off with it other than what some people might describe as off with that fruitiness that you get on the aroma that you don't get with other adjunct, macro lagers. But I mean, it smells really good. It doesn't smell bad at all. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Cheers, guys. Getting some barley malt, nice little bready component in the middle of the sip. It drops off pretty nicely. You do get a little bit of that fruitiness. Some people say green apple. I think it's more of a grape sweetness, but it's very muted. It's not prominent, but it's there, and a lot of people would consider that an off flavor with this style beer. I personally think it's fine. It's not off-putting for me. Some people might think so, but it's definitely not an off-putting flavor for me. A nice little prickly carbonation. I would say that this is more on the medium side, I guess, as far as the carbonation is concerned. The body is pretty light. Definitely more on the light side than medium. And it is pretty crisp because it does have a little carbonation. I'm not getting a hop presence with this, no hop bite or anything like that. But it does round out nicely at the end because of the way that it drops off. It's not a lingering taste; doesn't stick to the insides of your cheeks and cause any, it doesn't stick with you in a sense that might be unpleasant. I notice a lot of double and triple IPAs have a really thick, almost syrupy mouthfeel, and it'll stick to the inside of your cheeks. And even if you like the beer, I mean, if I take a sip of a beer, I don't want it to linger around for half an hour. I don't find that appealing. And that's one of the reasons I think I really like American adjunct lagers, beers like this that are really light and don't stick around too long. Now, what do I think of this beer? It's okay. I mean, it's cheap. I can get it for 99 cents for a 24-ounce can in my area, which I think is a great value. It is pretty enjoyable. Um, but I've had so many different lagers, macro lagers in particular, over the years, and I would group this in with your macro lager beers. So we're talking Coors Banquet, Budweiser, Miller High Life, Miller Genuine Draft, Genesee, even um, beers along those lines. I mean, that's what they're trying to do here with this product. It's okay. I actually like the Rockdale Ice better than this at 5.9%. It's bolder and the fruitiness is not any more or less really with this one than with the Rockdale Ice. And the Rockdale Ice is almost 1% higher in the alcohol category, so I would gravitate more towards that one. This one is okay, but I've had so many good American adjunct lagers, particularly macro lagers, over the years, that this one just falls a little bit short. It's not as good as those, and you can buy, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Old Milwaukee, Hams for pretty cheap, and those are much better than the Rockdale Classic. So for that reason, let me get one more sip and I'll give you a rating. But for that reason, drum roll, da da da. For that reason, I'm going to give it a 78 out of 100. It's average plus. It's getting up there towards good, but it just falls a little short for me because I've had so many beers that are like this beer that are just as cheap, just as reasonably priced, and they're a lot better. This one has, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's average plus. Like I said, but when you've had as many beers within this style as I have, you these beers are a dime a dozen. You can find a lot of really cheap American adjunct macro lagers, cheap budget brands that are still made by Anheuser-Busch, Molson Coors that are going to be quality, good products. Not to say this isn't quality, but it is inferior to those other products that I mentioned earlier. So 78 out of 100. If you're looking to drink a Rockdale beer, I would recommend the Rockdale Ice. I think it's better than this. So, it is what it is. But it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not a drain pour, and it is highly drinkable. So for that reason, 78 out of 100. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. That'll do it for this beer review. And until next time, everybody, cheers.